Alrighty. Oh, wait a minute. Got to add goat Welcome to Saturday Night Live, everybody. Good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, and thank you, Michael Cartwright, for becoming one of the only flans. And it's almost flannel season. It's been pretty cool here today. So we're getting there, people. Not quite there. I'm still wearing t-shirts, but there you go. All righty, guys. Well, let's do a quick rundown as to who is here so far. We got the Travelers Travels, who is first, Son of a Rabbit, Nas City, Crypto Tito, Vinny Del Greco, Son of a Rabbit. I already said him. Michael Cartwright, Nick the Best, Toxic Miner, Steven Cicero, Dan the Dane. How are you? And thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciate it. Hope you are doing well. Glad that you are safe. Joker Miner, good to see you. Oh, let's see. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash, 10 minutes to midnight. 10 minutes to midnight. Sorry, you actually won something on Panda Stream today. Somebody probably already told you that, but anyway,
it was an old comment from.
It was an old comment. Yeah, exactly. Turtle Tech, Anthony Denuzzo, Crypto Moro, Taines. Good to see you, sir. Jean Francois, and let's see who else is here. Crypto MB, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. If I didn't already say him, I think I already did. Automatic Beats, Rice's Adventures, Smash the Like Bros, Brian Hollywood. I always like saying that one. Good to see you, sir. 45 degrees in your hood tonight. Yeah, it's gonna get down pretty low where I'm at too as well. And I think that's everybody. Oh, and Red Panda makes it in just under the wire. Good to see you all. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Well, let's start with Go, because it's going to be a short story. How are you doing, sir?
I am feeling like poopy.
Yeah. Pretty much slept the whole day, is what you said?
Yeah, my fucking Fitbit said I got like 11 hours of sleep today.
Oh, wow.
A lot. A lot more than usual. But hey, I couldn't let my homie go on all by himself. You know. I mean, I was just saying, you know.
Sorry, what am I, a fucking piece of wood? Like,
what am I, chop liver? Fucking forget about it. Fugazi.
You know who you look like with that hoodie and glasses on.
I know. Yeah.
Does anybody know who he looks like? I want to see if the chat can pick it up. Who he looks like.
I know. I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He was famous about 10 years ago.
Oh, he's still famous in my eyes.
Oh,
I thought it was longer than that.
Oh, I would say at least 10 years ago.
At least 10 years.
At least.
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah. Anybody?
No.
But he's got to put it back on and do it again. There you go. Yep. And then yep. Let's see if anybody recognizes this guy. No,
not Eminem.
No, it was a guy that
no, give him a chance to guess.
I'm not going to say who it is, what he did.
Think of it that way. It's what he did is what made him famous.
Okay, just a hint. He used to interrupt people. I want to see if anybody gets it.
Nobody.
I wouldn't have gotten it with that hint. Now you got me confused.
No, he interrupts people. He does. That's what he did. That's all he's ever done.
Oh, then I'm thinking of somebody else.
Scott, I said the Unabomber.
That's what I thought.
The Unabomber. No, not the Unabomber.
Oh, then I have no idea. I was thinking the Unabomber.
No. You guys don't remember the guy that used to run around on the news, take the mic away from the news anchors and go, F her right in the,
Right in the,
Yeah. Nobody?
No.
Oh, man.
Nope.
That was good. Yep.
F her right in the...
There you go.
Right in the kissa, right?
Right. And Gordon Murray got it right. Yes. FHRITP. You remember that guy?
That guy. Yep. No, not P. Diddy.
No.
You don't remember that guy? He was like all over social media like about years ago.
Must not have been part of what my generation was looking at on Facebook or whatever
Probably
else.
Not. It was pretty funny though. You could interrupt newscasters and stuff.
Yeah.
So, how was your day, Mr. Hawk?
Just
exciting.
Work. Yeah. I was telling you guys earlier, my son like fell and busted his lip, and then it was like this. I almost didn't make it to the live stream, and I'm like, "You got this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got it." I'm like, "All right, cool." Anyway, just work. Today was just work. Weekends are just work for me, and I'm working on a few things. Just trying to figure out what to do with the channel. I'm still trying to like explore what I'm gonna do as far as content goes. I just kind of feel like there's nothing really to talk about. It's like the AL0 comes out and like, all right, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll do a video on this, and then I go and look and there's 7 videos out already, and I'm just like,
Right.
I just don't like what am I gonna do and just make another video about this? Like, and everyone's making videos, everyone's posting their discount codes, and I'm just like, at what point does it just become redundant and everyone's talking about the same thing because there's nothing to talk about?
Just another day in crypto.
It's just another day in crypto mining in the bear market,
Another week and another fucking machine and or another meme coin. Or
I do feel like the weeks are going by like really fast. Like I don't know. It just seems.
I hope so. I want 2025 to get here.
Yeah. I think everybody does.
Cannot get here fast enough.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully fourth quarter will be a little bit better than what we've seen recently. But my day was just work. Actually, I didn't start out great. I thought I set my alarm, but I woke up to my wife. Well, first of all, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning, which is the normal time I'd been waking up. And I'm like, shoot, I got an hour and a half more I can sleep because we're not starting as early today. And next thing I know, my wife is waking me up at 10 to 6, and I'm supposed to be at work at 6. And I'm 30 minutes away from work. So I didn't get there until right around 6:30. And then I was there until like 4. And and then just kind of came home, relaxed, and didn't take a nap today. So I probably could have sorely used. Week was brutal, getting up at 3:30 every day. So, but we made good progress. We were behind. We're down 2 people. And then trying to fit 4 days worth of work in 5 days worth of work in 4 days. They just hammered us. We had like, typically during a week, we do 11 a day. So that's what our commitment is to our customer. And that means in 4 days it'd be 44. They sent us over 60. But wait, there's more. They then hammered us with about twice the volume of what we can normally handle on 2 of the days. So we had to divert people because outbounds take priority over inbounds. So yeah, it was. Then they're like, "Hey, why haven't you now not inbounded these yet?" Anyway, it required a little bit of explanation, but they understood. So, and the customer said, "Hey, we approve overtime for the weekend." Like, okay, cool. Worst part was that my supervisor, who normally works the weekends, told me weeks ago that he couldn't work today, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. I mean, what are the odds, Because we hadn't worked weekends, a Saturday, in a really, really long time. Yeah, figures. The one time we really need to, he can't work. So, is what it is. I got through it. But yeah, that was pretty much my day. Didn't get much time to play with my toys. But I honestly didn't have much chance to catch up on news. What's been going on in the world, guys?
Well,
in the world or in the crypto world?
In
the crypto world, I mean.
Maybe is that you want to rephrase that? Because the world,
crypto
now is
world
on fire.
Crypto world.
Crypto world's just about on fire too. Seems like.
Yeah,
man. You you didn't miss out on the Radiant miner news. You can't pretend like you didn't. Come on.
No. I got that. That didn't happen today, though.
No.
Oh, I don't know. I slept half the day.
Right. So
I was surprised to see how many people agreed with me on my tweet, though. Like, I just feel like it's just turning into a joke. I kind of feel like it's like, all right, here we go. We're gonna buy this AL0, 3 months, 3 to 6 months. It's gonna be dead. And then here's this, here's an AL1, and we're just gonna repeat. How long are we gonna keep repeating like the same thing? Like, at what point does it do people just stop chasing the profitability so much as just like just get stuck in the same circle. I mean, there's people that have.
I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with you. But if you rewind back when we were mining Ethereum, the hash rate kept going up a lot. But the difference was that it was during the bull run that it happened. And therefore the price of Ethereum kept going up, which meant it kept being profitable. So that's the piece we're missing right now when it comes to Alephium. Now, with that said, we're talking about GPU mining, which means things are going to go up incrementally, more linearly, as opposed to, you know, they release the next big ASIC and all of a sudden the hash rate, the network hash rate jumps by a factor of 10. As opposed to, like I said, linearly. So
yeah, big difference there. You know, what happened to the days where it was, I mean, you go CPU, GPU, FPGA ASIC. That's always been the way, right? And it just seems like so much of this is just jumping to ASIC, like a lot sooner than originally intended, or, you know, maybe it's just me. Alephium's been around for a while. Radiant's been around for a while too. Maybe they were just sleepers, and, you know, some of these OEMs and manufacturers, they got cheap money from the last couple of years, and they're just finding a way to spend it and getting people like us to FOMO in and be their exit liquidity.
Yeah, I mean, certainly you definitely hit the word on the nose, FOMO. I think there's a lot more people that are willing to put up the money to do it because they've seen other people get rich on it. But like I said, then at that point it becomes FOMO. So
I kind of felt like, you know, I was even thinking like, I have like a little bit of money in crypto left, and I was like, do I just go get one of these AL0s and try it and maybe do some but then again, that's why I posted that short, because I saw it. I'm like, okay, well, this is how everybody probably feels right now. And when it comes to this, I may do it, I may not do it, I don't know. You know, it just kind of gets like,
that was funny. That
was funny.
Nobody knows, man. I don't know. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to do it but with my luck, I'll buy an AL0 and the price will tank or something will happen. So I don't know.
Now
it's going to keep going up now that I didn't buy it. So don't worry.
Of course.
Right.
That's how it always goes.
Of course.
The price of those RX zeros though is pretty enticing to me. At, you know, 200 something, it's like what, $400 plus shipping and tariffs and all that. You'd probably be in less than $600, right, to get one shipped. But if you put that on Solo, that's a 25,000 radiant block. That's a lot of yield.
No,
and
I mean,
now would be the time to do it. You know, I mean, well, the time to do it was last year, but if you're going to do it at any time, now's a good time to do it, right?
Yeah, somebody asked me about, hey, can you get me the AL0? And I didn't even put it up. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, I haven't put any small ASICs on the TerraHash's website for sale. None. There's never been one small ASIC. I think the only one I'm going to add is the Alpha Pex. I think I'm going to put that one on there. But yeah, because people ask me all the time. They're like,
it's a good machine.
Yeah, they ask me all the time. They say, Hawk, why don't you sell these things? And I'm like, guys, just go to Ice River. It's cheaper. I have to charge you like $200-$300 more than you would get. And then when the hype was around the KS0, when that came out, nobody cared. People were paying $1,500 for a KS0. And I'm like, are you guys sure? And then I had one guy buy one, and I warned him, and I said, hey, man, I'm just letting you know. Like, this is before we had the website. I'm just letting you know that these units, you know, I don't know how it's looking. And then he goes and he had it for a week, and then he's like, it's the worst investment I've ever had. I'm getting out of crypto. And I'm like,
getting out of crypto.
I mean, I get it. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
I understand.
I mean, this is, I look at all of this, and this is the reason why I'm more in AI than I am in crypto right now. Cause I look at it as an investment. And when I look at, you know, where my power is and how much the investment is and what my return's going to be, you know, yeah, it takes a year. It's not like the golden days of mining by any means, but bottom line is that you have a much quicker payback on AI equipment than you do on ASIC equipment, which is why I've gone that direction. May not always be that way, but that market right now still seems to be growing, obviously at a lesser extent than it was before. But yeah, I don't know. I'm let's just say I'm happy with my choices at this point.
Yeah, yeah, Panda he bought really late, and it wasn't good. The Joker is just out of control. Max, did you turn me back up from earlier?
No, you never were turned down. I've been
Oh, I
turning.
wasn't. Okay, I
I've
just
been
wanna make sure it
turning.
wasn't.
So here's the. I was going to ask everybody. Let me know. I can start turning myself down. I've already turned down Goat to try to equal where Hawk is, but I have no way of knowing like where my levels are compared to them.
Everything's
So,
up on my end. I don't know what if
and I can hear you
everything's
just fine because
yeah.
I just raised my volume, but the problem is that everybody's at a different level. Everyone needs to be turned up. No, you just turn up your volume, Brad. I
let's see.
know. I'm sure the music was probably much louder earlier. So, we have a quiet Hawk. You have it maxed, Brad? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, then I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
I
Max is
don't
a little
think-
louder than Hawk, but not by much.
Okay. Let me turn myself down a bit.
I cannot be that low.
You're pretty low. I mean,
am I really?
Yeah, you've been low, but like I said, I have the volume turned up.
Yeah, you're right here on the mic, but it sounds like you're back here.
That's crazy because I just went and turned on the YouTube and I put the audio on to hear it back. And you're right, I am low. And I don't know if it's on. It's not definitely not on my end. Hawk is
actually,
he's depressed.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't mean this to be critical because I just turn you up, but actually, you are whenever you have your streams by yourself, you are definitely lower than other streamers
Really?
because I always turn you up. But I always look. I'm like, okay, is it him? Am I looking at where my computer level is? Yeah, my computer level is up at like 60 out of 100 when I listen to you, but most other people I'm at like 35 or 40.
That is so weird. I don't know.
It still sounds good. It's not a big deal
see.
as far as I'm concerned. It's just a matter of getting everybody at the same level.
I bet you it's Windows. It just had an update. Hold on.
It's been like this for weeks, Hawk.
Yeah, I know. I haven't changed it.
Okay.
Let me see.
I actually just did an update today too. That was the other thing I had to do. Why I was late getting stuff out because when I got home to my computer, it like wasn't talking to anything. And it did this a couple weeks ago. And I thought it was the router. And I like shut down shit. And I'm like, after all that, it was my computer. So I'm like, all right, let me remote into one of my VMs and see if they have internet. And they did. And I could see that I could still actually I had a command prompt or an SSH session open to one of my VAST rigs that was still running. I'm like, it's not the internet, it's my computer. So I was like, well, as long as I'm doing that, I might as well update the computer. But I'm actually I should put out a poll. Should I upgrade to Windows 11? That's the question. Should I upgrade to Windows 11? And I'm going to put it on a little bit different. I'm going to say, have you upgraded to Windows 11?
How is it right now? Is it still the same?
It's the same.
It sounds the same to me.
Yep.
What the hell? All right. How about now? Better? A little bit lower? Higher?
Sounds the same to me.
Really?
No change.
No change.
It's got to be like the browser stuff then, because I don't know. I just turned the compressor all the way up. I don't know how much higher I can make it when I would start blowing out my eardrums.
All right. Yes. Love it. I'm putting on a poll. Yes. Hate it. Hate it. Don't do it. And then no. All right. Let's see what everybody says. One of the reasons why I'm thinking about upgrading to Windows 11 is because I'm going to be changing over to a work computer that has Windows 11 on it. I have like a 3-year-old laptop and we had to replace a different laptop. That's our training laptop. That training laptop doesn't need to be like the latest and greatest. It's been running on an 8-year-old laptop just fine. But they don't want it that way because of security. So I'm going to take that one and give them mine to be the training laptop. So
how's this? The same? Mic check.
Maybe
1 2 1 2.
Maybe slightly better actually.
It's really loud in my ear though.
Wow, I'm surprised. So yeah, a lot of people have not upgraded to Windows 11. 60%. 10% do say yes, hate it, don't do it. But still 3-1, about 3-1, almost 3-1, saying they love it versus hate it. Huh. Steven Cicero, you are not still using Windows 7 as your main computer.
No, I don't even think that. Yeah,
You can.
You
mean,
can. You definitely can.
Windows.
Oh my
7.
god. Do you remember the
use that
guy
too.
who did the like not like to hit basically went against scammers. He worked with Kraken. You remember that
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I watch him every once in a while, and he had a recent one where he was on a Windows 3.1 computer, and they would go into his Windows 3.1 computer, and they were so confused. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, no
these
idea
That
what
was
to do.
hilarious.
they're these guys like Scammer Payback and a bunch of these other dudes.
Yeah.
They're doing great stuff because I think they're slowing down it's not just them. There's a lot of people on YouTube doing videos about it.
Yeah.
I think they're slowing it down a little bit. Like it's like you can tell like these scammers are getting like afraid to call people. And,
Well, I mean,
'cause they don't know who they're talking to anymore.
I mean, the thing is that they can show results, and which motivates people to donate, and that's where they're because
Right.
these people have
Right.
teams. That guy that I was just talking about, I don't
Mhm.
know if he has a team, but I mean, Scammer Payback definitely has a team of people.
Yeah, he's got a whole facility.
Yeah.
He gets
So,
donations, like massive donations,
Yep.
from people, and it's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yep.
Tains, I did not know that. Yeah, it is Windows, not just Windows 3.1, it's Windows 3.11 that that he was doing.
Wasn't Southwest or somebody using that didn't when that thing happened? What happened a couple months ago? All the airlines went down. What was that again?
Oh, no. They were on Windows, either Windows XP or Windows 7.
Oh, I thought they were on like an old version, which is why like one of the airlines
That is an
was
old
not,
version.
like older though. I thought it was like older where they weren't.
Yeah, I think the
involved with
news
it.
said it was Windows 3.1, but I think that was
No, it was not Windows
Oh,
3.
okay. I thought that's what it was. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I saw that too. But no, they were running. I think they were running on Windows 7, which is not compatible
sure.
with the CrowdStrike application, so they weren't using it.
I remember when Windows 98 was the shit.
Still is.
Yeah.
Like one of the most secure versions you'll ever use.
Millennium was cool.
Millennium was crap.
When I was a kid, I don't know. I didn't know.
Oh my god, that was crap. Remember, Windows had a good one, then a bad one, then a good one, then a bad one.
Mhm.
Windows XP actually was, I believe, if I remember correctly, was either the last or the first one based on. I think it was. Well, I guess all of Windows now is based on OS2, but Windows XP was, I think, the first one where they either all came together, or the last one that was OS2, and then Windows 7 was the first one where they came all together. So if you remember back when, maybe you guys didn't know this, but back when they did Windows 98, Windows Millennium, all of those were all a dual release. They had Windows OS that was built on a completely different code base. So actually, when I first got out of college and was working for Motorola, their coverage software system was running on an OS2 system. So I got to learn OS2. I don't know what version it was, but relatively in its early years. But yeah, all right, a little bit of history there. Not that anybody cared. Oh, hey, I got somebody cool. Cool rip 007 OS2. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was Windows NT. Right. That's what OS2 became, was Windows NT. Good grief, all those discs. Yeah. When we used to install things with 3.5-inch disc floppies, and you had to sit there and feed the discs. That was
I had a compact computer. When my first computer, it was a compact Pentium. I think it was like a Pentium 2 or Pentium 3. And I think Windows Millennium was on it. And I'm trying to remember. It was 128. One thing I do remember was it was 128 megabytes of RAM, and it was like the tits. Like you could play Roller Coaster Tycoon like nobody's business. And that was my first computer. Then I had a Toshiba laptop. And I had a Dell Inspiron. And then one of the coolest laptops I had was, remember the oh my god, there was what was it called? A Dell XP or not XP? It was a gaming laptop Dell made.
The XPS.
XPS, and it had a subwoofer underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
I had that model, and that
Things
was cool.
overheated like crazy.
Yeah, it used to get hot. It used to get hot. I remember they used to sell these coolers to put under the laptops, and I had one of those too. Yeah.
My first computer that I bought, I forget what the name of the company was, but it had a Cyrix processor in it. It was x86 compliant, and it worked great. There was no issues whatsoever. I had no issues with it. And oh my God, was it cheap compared to Intel. At that point, you didn't have AMD. So, but yeah, in fact, I still have that computer somewhere in this house. It had a zip drive.
That's awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So back up everything. So I love that computer. That was so much fun. I think I had that until, I think that's the computer I started playing StarCraft on.
When did I start playing StarCraft? I don't know. My mom had a Dell computer at the restaurant that she would do all the bookkeeping on. Oh my God, I messed up that computer so many times. I used to put LimeWire on it and Morpheus and all this other stuff. And then we played
Napster.
Morpheus.
Remember Morpheus? And then I used to, and then it was a little after Napster. You had to pay for Napster already.
Oh really?
At that time, oh yeah,
they had
Napster was a paid
then,
service already. I remember like when we would try to download like an album, like Eminem would come out with an album, and we would have to start the download before we went to school, and then by the time we came home, it would be like 80% done.
Yeah.
And then oh man, then defragging your computer all the time, and oh, good times. Yeah.
Good times.
I mean, that was my extent. I mean, I started in computers when I was very small, but I mean,
Napster. I mean, those were the days. But I never used Napster. Never.
No,
I would never do anything like that.
Not at all.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What was that?
Is it even still around?
I have no idea.
Napster is. I don't think it's. The name is. I don't think it's the same type of service. I think they're a streaming service now.
Yeah.
Everything's a streaming service now.
It says Napster's history include a number of notable events. They shut down in 2001. Napster was served with an injunction in 2001 in order to pay millions in copyright. The company failed to salvage itself and eventually filed for bankruptcy. It was bought by Best Buy in 2008. Then merged with Rhapsody in 2011. Rhapsody rebranded as Napster in 2016, and then it was acquired by Melody VR in 2020. The British virtual reality music company acquired Napster in 2020. Acquired by HiveMind and Algorand in 2022. Napster was sold to HiveMind and Algorand in May of 2022. HiveMind is an investment firm that focuses on digital media, cryptocurrency, and blockchain technology. So that's who
I was going to say. Algorand is, if it's the same Algorand, that's crypto.
Yeah. Apparently, that's who owns it. It was sold. Well, it was acquired by HiveMind and Algorand, but then it was sold to HiveMind. Oh no! Algorand and HiveMind own it. No, sorry, I read that wrong. Yeah.
Cool.
Crazy.
Sounds like she gets around.
Yeah. Look at. I mean, the last like 20 years it's been sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times. It's crazy.
A lot.
Yeah.
Been sold a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So anybody out there, are you guys going to get any of these new ASICs? The AL1, the AL0, the RX0? Because the RX0 is also on Ice River's site as well.
They were just saying the RX0 is already sold out.
So is the AL0, I think.
Or maybe they were
sorry, the AL1. AL1 already says it's sold out.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah.
No, they have the AL1 Pro. Is now available. I had an order come in for an AL1, and then I called them back, and you know how these things change like every hour. So it's like I placed the order, and she comes back to me about half an hour later, and she says, "Oh, it's sold out, only the Pro." And I'm like, "Well, how much is the Pro?" It's $1,300 more. So I had to go back to him. I said, "Hey, look, like I can return your money, or if you want to get the Pro." He's like, "Screw it, I'm already in the hole. Here's another $1,300. Let's just do it." And I was like, "All right." And so I know the AL1 Pro is out. I have an AL1 running right now, but Foreman is registering it as a KS5. But it's mining and it's up and running. I have it on Viper was it Viperpool or Viper.net, and it's running pretty good. So no issues, knock on wood. But the L9 and the A01 are not registering. The L9 is mining and it's not registering on Foreman at all. It just says fail. So Foreman needs to get that together, because from a managerial perspective, it's a nightmare.
Fix your shit.
Yeah. It's like,
what
you
about
see, like, you see fail on a Foreman, you just start twitching because it's like you want to all green.
Are there any other management platforms that are registering it?
I don't know. I don't know if Hive OS is doing it. It's just that the problem is like with Foreman, for example, they don't get access. They're not going to go spend $30,000 to buy the ASIC just so everybody can have it working hunky dory. They're going to wait till somebody complains, and then one of us in the community will give them access to the unit, and then they'll program it on their end, and then it'll work. They just have to change some stuff around. And we've done that several times. We did that. Tara did that with the IB Link with Foreman, the BMKS Max. We did it with them. We did it with the, oh my God, which one was it? The Ice River KS3. I think we did the KS3M, or we did the other KS3, just the 8 terahash one. We did one of those too. But it's cool. You just reach out to them and say, hey, this doesn't work. You give them the IP address. They just figure it out. They program it and it works. So the Foreman's really easy to work with.
So I got to do a little bit of catch up. So thank you, Dan the Dane, for the second super chat. Very much appreciated. And Panda Stinky Finger with a $1.99 super chat, their first super chat ever. I am very honored that you did it on my stream. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. All right, that is all.
Michael Cartwright says, just like the PC market, the retail buying public are their beta testers. Yeah. Yeah. I think the community is the best place to test stuff. I mean, you get over 100 people in a group chat or a live chat, and just let everybody go. And I mean, that's and I tell these projects all the time. Like we were talking to Telestai, I guess that's how you whatever. The new crypto we interviewed. I'm like, you guys got the largest amount of developers in the community. Just go ask them what they want and ask them what. I mean, there's people here that are very smart. Go out and ask and communicate with the community. That's the best way to build your project, because you're going to have 100 different people, 200 different people with 200 different opinions, and you build on top of that within reason, So,
the one project that I've been really surprised by is Zealous. It's been pretty steady.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't like had the huge jump. I mean, it's gone up to around 20 and then gone down as low as like 5 or 6, but it seems to have mostly been in that range. And I've been impressed that, it's not like, I don't know, Cedra or Pyron or, where they've had these like huge ups and downs. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those projects I would like to spend a little bit of time and learn more about.
Mm-hmm.
Figure there's something to its staying power is what I figure. You guys know anything about Zealous?
Haven't mined it.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's what I've been mining for quite a while. I decided that instead of just mining and selling, I'm going to mine, because it always goes in this range. I'm going to mine, and then I'm going to set a sell at a higher price. And eventually we'll get there.
Hey, on a separate note, did you know YouTube right now has a setting in the Content Creator Studio where if, let's say you play a song that's not copyright free, YouTube will edit the song out of the background while keeping your speech there.
Really?
Yeah, I just saw it. I just used it and I tested it. I was listening to it for a second and I'm like, holy shit. Like it just took the song out of the background. That's insane.
Interesting.
So
wait a minute. What happens if you use it on a live stream? It goes and then you tell it to take it out. So the live
streams end up turning into videos. So
right.
So it was from a live stream. So it was one song out of all the non-copyright songs that couldn't be monetized. So I hit erase song and then it gives you the preview and I'm like, it's gone. And you can hear me just fine.
Wow.
That's insane. I just thought that was cool. I just realized that. I just saw that. It was wild.
Hellish Miner with the super chat. Thank you, sir, for $5. Hawk is right. Always speak with your community. Always ask what they want. You would be surprised what you will learn.
100%.
Joker Miner with the $1.99 super chat. INI. So he said ILL. If you're in
I
a
don't know what that
line,
means.
you know what that, basically that's what the whole thing is. One side of the stadium goes ILL. The other side of the stadium says INI. Just what we do.
Go sports.
Go sports. Go ball sports.
Hmm.
So what's the score, Joker? I haven't been keeping track. Didn't they start at wait, isn't the game over? Didn't they start at 6? Oh, I guess he's saying that they over Kansas, so they beat Kansas. Did they win? I'm guessing if he was doing that, I guess that means they won and they were ranked, which is amazing because Illinois football generally is not stellar, shall we say. It certainly ain't Michigan or Penn State or Ohio State. So win. Wow, that's impressive. That's impressive. Maybe that'll be maybe that's a good sign for this year.
Hey, Goat. So on April 22nd, 2008, distributor Streamcast Networks filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy after a long legal battle with music companies. All of their employees were laid off and the official download, www.morpheus.com, stopped being available. I'm surprised it lasted that long.
To when? When did you say?
2008.
20? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It had a lot of legal battles. In 2001, for example, a Dutch music publishing body, Buma and Stemra, sued Consumer Empowerment, the owner of Kazaa, for copyright infringement. Oh my God, why is that name?
Well, remember those were all P2P sharing networks.
The P2P sharing, right?
Yeah, that was before torrents were a thing. Torrents are a little harder to narrow down, because you're just providing a platform. You're not hosting anything.
So look at this. LimeWire was shut down in 2010, although FrostWire exists still as an open source, quote, fork, as it's called, and also follows the BitTorrent protocol, which basically deals with the ability to share on a person-to-person level like LimeWire did. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they even went that long. But the music companies went after everybody, man. That's crazy. They went after everyone. I mean, it changed the whole landscape of music. I mean, they made so much money from physical album sales, and then everything went digital, and then just changed how they did business.
Sorry, I have to change the subject back to football.
No, I just was reading that.
What the hell? Northern Illinois, out of the MAC conference, okay, like second tier conference, maybe even third tier in Division I, beat 5th ranked Notre Dame.
I saw that.
Notre Dame.
I saw that at the restaurant today. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay. I did my undergrad actually at University of Illinois in Champaign. And then I actually got my master's from Northern. So, and my son went to Northern as well. So I've been to a few of their football games. That's insane. Wow. They beat Notre Dame. Jesus. Sorry. Wow. My son's home. He didn't know either. So anyway. So yeah, my son's actually up from Alabama. He's up here to see Big Boy. If anybody's a train watcher, you know what Big Boy is.
So here, Taines, this one's good. This one's for you. On October 27, 2008, responding to uncertainty around the future of plays for sure, Music Lab added iPod support for BearShare version 7. As of June 12, 2016, BearShare is no longer available to download. The official page with a message announcing the discontinuation remained active until March of 2017. It settled with BearShare's parent company FreePeer settled with major music labels for $30 million to avoid piracy. Oh man, $30 million settlement. Oh, dude, they went after everybody. Sorry, I was on that for a second. They went.
Joker Miner just said Big Boy was where he was yesterday, so it's going to be in Rochelle tomorrow. So we're heading out to Rochelle tomorrow. Go watch Big Boy. Big Boy is like one of the largest steam engines ever. Tegra Guy says, pretty sure I have Big Boy in HO scale. Who said we? Okay, I thought maybe you'd want me to go with. If you don't want me to go
is
with, I
too
won't go
many
with.
people. We is too many people, Dad.
I don't think they knew I was going to go with. I'm still not positive I'm going, but
That's the good thing about being a parent. You just say, "Yeah, I'm going with you." What are you going to do about it?
well, I think he would want me to go with them.
I
But
know.
I just
Well.
know that they know I've been working a lot this week, and so they were kind of like, yeah, if you want to stay home and just chill out, that's fine. So I haven't decided. We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Football season starts officially for me on Monday. So the NFL season.
I guess Iowa's not here. I'm guessing
No,
Iowa
because
State.
he knows Joker's gonna really jump down his throat about Iowa versus Iowa State. So they were talking about it during StarCraft the other night.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not
Very
surprised that
funny.
he's not here. Ooh,
Yeah,
Nelson's Cryptos wants to start. Those are fighting words, Nelson. Those are fighting words.
And tomorrow and last night was wonderful. Green Bay lost. That was awesome.
Fighting words.
Fighting words. What are you talking about?
Said the Jets suck. It's fighting words.
Oh, got it. Sorry, I thought you were talking about me saying that Green Bay lost. I'm like, why would you care?
No, I don't care about Green Bay.
Yeah, I didn't figure.
Not one bit.
Oh, for anybody who might be a Green Bay fan or care about Green Bay, Jordan Love has a MCL tear. So he's going to be out for 3 to 6 weeks. Not as bad as they thought. They thought maybe it was an ACL tear. And then he would need surgery and would have been out for the season. So could have been worse.
I was
All
thinking
right,
about,
sorry, back to crypto.
So Monday, you said the debate is on Tuesday night, right?
Correct.
I think I might live stream the debate and do like a watch party. Just some comments, open the floor up, see what everybody thinks. Maybe do viewer call-in. I don't know. The viewer call-in, man, did not do well. I'll be honest with you. I had 180 people watching and nobody called in. I'm like, guys, I'm like texting King. I'm like, King,
This is Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday. I tried it one more time, but I was like, eh.
I don't know. I think Thursday is one of those nights where people are just tired.
I know. I get it.
The end of the week. And I mean, yeah, I'm sure you do get it. It's the end of your week too.
Oh my God. My week gets busy on the weekends, man. It's tough on the weekends to do stuff.
Yeah, my problem, I would have called in, except I was going to bed. I was like really tired and had to get up at 3:30. So
I think it was fun when like in the bull run, everybody want to call and ask questions. And now it's like, oh, how bad is your suck versus my suck? Like it sucks over here, so it must suck over there. Like it's just, we're all in the suck. It just sucks. Everything just kind of sucks. So how bad does yours sucks? Like everything just sucks. I am tired. I'm just tired. I'm working my ass off. Yeah, I hear you, Pellish. If we didn't get cut off, we would call in. Wait, I gotta set rules.
Wow.
I didn't cut you off. I have to set rules. Everybody gets 5 minutes. Otherwise, we'll have like that one guy. Who was that one guy that called in? That Mark Musk guy. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
That was good.
That was hilarious.
He turned it into a music video.
Right.
Yes,
He
you did
turn it
stream
in.
while the game was on. That would have the Chiefs versus Baltimore. So maybe that was the problem.
Football is more important.
It is.
Yeah, I got your 5 minutes right here. Yeah, I think.
Hey, speaking of that,
Tuesday'd be fun.
King said he was going to call in, at least for a little bit.
He said he might pop in. I think they all went out for drinks or stuff and venting to each other. So.
I was actually going to look to see what my temps were like. It's nice and cool there right now.
Did you go down to Kansas?
Yeah, they're all. I think Mike, King, and one of the guys that works for us is over there. I was supposed to go. I was really gonna go, but it's so hard for me to leave, man. Like if something goes wrong, I'd have to jump right back on a plane, connect. It would just be a nightmare. But I think I'm gonna go the next round. King's going. I have a little bit more time to plan. This was like I had a week notice.
Yeah, he blew out my rig today. He said he was doing the third row, which is I'm in the third row, and I saw when my rig went down. And wow, temps are nice. I mean, it's cool there right now as well, but
yeah, temps are really nice over there.
Temps are really nice. I had a couple of them I had to turn off, and I just said for a lark, let me turn the 3 back on, and none of them are running over 50 right now.
You know, we got a bunch. We have battery backups at the facility, right, to prevent, you know, like if the power flickers on a couple minutes here and there. And of course, we had a power outage the other day, and it just exceeded the battery backups. And it's just like,
yep,
like really,
they're not meant to stay on for long periods of time. Not with that kind of draw.
No, it was.
This is at Melbourne.
Yeah, it's at Melbourne. It's only supposed to be a few minutes. Like, I mean, even my the one that I have in my house on my rack with the right now, obviously my machines are off because I have everything in Melbourne, but it'll run the Ubiquiti for like a half an hour. When I had all the machines, it ran them for like 10 minutes, and it just allowed time for the power to settle, like if you have a flicker or whatever. And that's why we bought them, because usually the power is really good there. But apparently it exceeded 10 or 15 minutes. And and King had to go like redo them all, which is, hey, look, like there's give and take, right? If you go to someone else, they're at AWS or these major providers, they have the money for those backups. If you go to someone who hosts their own gear, this is kind of what you deal with. So
I can tell you that I am like seriously thinking about during the bull run, when things go up and I have some money I can spend, what I'm going to do with the power here, whether probably go up to 200 amps, and then also get some battery backup, like not battery back, get batteries, probably get 12 kilowatts, which would power me for about an hour, a little over an hour. But I might do even more than that. We'll see.
Yeah. So you're just gonna have you're just gonna have your batteries as reserves?
No,
are you gonna use them throughout the day as well? Yeah,
I'm gonna use them to arbitrage. So basically, when power prices are low at night, I will have them charge, and then during the day when the power prices are high, which is usually like between 4 and 6, I'll have them start feeding things.
Yeah, good call.
So Taines, to answer your question, it's a good question. So I'll be honest with everybody. So the Melbourne location, we were going to be set to purchase that, right? Now, what we're doing now is we kind of pivot a little bit. So we're building out in Missouri the data center, and the data center would be like phase 2, but the hosting facility goes first. So it made no sense to purchase Melbourne and make any more repairs, because that generator was going to be like $150,000 with installation and all that. It didn't make sense to do that if we're not going to stay there. And like you can't repair that old one. It's 25 years old. It's cheaper just to sell it, get it out of there, and somebody can, turn it into an engine for whatever they want to use it for. So we in the Missouri site, it's going to be a more like a Caterpillar, like a bigger one, that'll be able to run the entire data center if it goes down. And that's what the plan's going forward, and that's what they're going to do. It just makes no point to spend all that money if we're not going to stay there. So that's just kind of what it is. Yeah, it's expensive. Swamp 7 says just got a quote to upgrade the backup generator. It's LOL 100K plus. It's ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
Even the one for my house that I was looking at a while ago, because to put underground, because I don't have natural gas lines here, I have to get the diesel ones and I have to put the tank next to it. It was like $60,000. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Like, this is ridiculous. I'll just get solar and then upgrade to the batteries later on, and maybe run the refrigerator and whatever. But yeah, it's so expensive from like a data center. They used to be, and it's funny because the batteries and the generator were separate in that facility because it was built 25 years ago. Now these units are all in one. So even if we were to stay there, we would have to probably knock down part of the building just to get it installed, or outside, because outside, I don't know if you guys remember, there was this giant tank of I think it was a concrete pad that was made for a giant like diesel tank. And then there was battery backups to help it, because then the machine would have to kick on and it would take a minute. So the batteries were to run the facility. It was like this giant investment back 25 years ago to have that. Today, it's just, you get instant power because those generators are constantly running. And so it's just too expensive. It's too expensive to do that. So it's better just to go build a new facility with everything you need and just be done with it. So, but yeah. It's in the works now, so just waiting for it to get done. Make some announcements, do some videos and stuff.
Speaking of, sorry, I saw that Red Panda said power upgrade fund. speaking of fundraisers, which I'm not fundraising for Power Upgrade Fund.
We have to start one. We can start one.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're not. Anyway, but what I am fundraising for is ovarian cancer. I still got to get those links. I'm going to try to get them by Monday, so we can start fundraising, or I can start fundraising for ovarian cancer. It's ovarian cancer month. It's the month of September. And I'm right now thinking about doing the live stream either the 28th or the 29th. I have to decide between those 2 days, but those will be one of those 2 days is when I will stream a 12-hour stream like I did last year, and get some other people involved. A number of people have already reached out. If there's anybody who wants to participate beyond the show, let me know. I'll be looking to fill time. No doubt about it.
You're doing 24 hours, right?
No, 12 hours.
12 hours. Okay, I thought it was 24.
I am not. I'm too old for 24 hours.
me and Brandon Coin are planning a election night 24-hour stream. That's gonna be pretty fun.
24 hours? Why?
Man,
I don't know. I was
24
thinking
hours makes no sense. There won't be any news as of 3 a.m. They're not still counting votes at 3 a.m.
Oh, well, don't get me started on this. Don't get me started.
It wasn't
on this.
3 a.m. It was
2 a.m.
Okay, 2 or 1 a.m.
Okay. Don't
even go there. Don't even go there.
I'm not going
Max,
there.
you got him started.
I'm not going
I'm blaming
there.
you.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I didn't say
anything either. I said they will not be counting votes at 3 a.m. and I'm not wrong. It won't be.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about just maybe till like midnight or something. I'm going to talk to Brandon and just say we can do like early on in the day. We'll go like 12 hours. Panda's like, yes, let's go there. No. I think so I gotta talk to him, see how we're gonna plan it out, because like you said, in the middle of the night, no one's gonna. I mean, whatever. Let's just what next subject.
Yeah. Pelish Miner says they dropped off random votes down. Oh my god.
That's just
okay.
That's fine.
If anybody comments on that, that's why that was not the intention of my comment. It was the intention about how long he was going to stream for. That's all. Anybody else, you will be timed out for 5 minutes if you talk politics in here. Just warning. I will let Pelish Miners go. Anybody else, you've been warned. You have been warned. All right, enough of that. Nothing ever good comes out of that.
Except for a 2-hour debate going in circles just to end up to say we agree to disagree.
Exactly. That was a conversation we had a week ago.
Yeah. Oh, we had a good one though. There were some points that went back and forth. I kind of wish that one was a little aired, because that was a healthy debate. That wasn't like a there was no like name calling.
I will not talk about that night. But anyway,
it was so
good. Obvious Miner, you left out "Don't tempt me with a good time." That's what you said. That's what you meant to say. Anyway, alrighty then.
But see, that's why I want to invite you on the debate, because in all seriousness, I would like for me and you to sit there as opposing views and just see how and see how they answered on Tuesday night. I'm cool with it. I mean, come on. All jokes aside, like, it would be an interesting topic for me and you both. How funny would it me and you go and Trump said something stupid and me and you both went, yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that would be pretty funny, or vice versa. Like,
yes, it would be, but no. I want to view it in the privacy of my own home.
Because you can yell and curse at your mics and nobody can see you. So you can yell and curse and nobody can hear you.
Exactly. Same way I like to watch my Bears games. Like to watch it in privacy so I can bitch and moan when they suck and cheer and yell when I'm a loud person when I'm watching sports. A very loud person. My wife's like, they can't hear you.
Yeah, I yell at the TV too. I do it all the time. Bacon, Eggs, and Hash says, I never talk politics. I like having friends. I like talking policy. I hate talking politics. I think it comes down to being adults. Like, I've had arguments and disagreements with Max, and there's no clink in the chain. If you fuck with that, I'll break your face. Fair enough. Does that prove everything to everybody? Cool. Moving forward.
Tempted me anyway.
I'm just saying. But that's the fact. I could have
Yes,
arguments
it is.
all
It
day
is.
long, but
Yeah,
there's no
it is.
clink in the chain. If someone says something stupid,
Yeah.
and you get dealt
Yeah,
with.
yeah. I'm not disagreeing with what you said. It was just anyway. I was thinking of something else, but anyway. Alrighty, back to crypto. Let's see where prices are right now.
That's funny.
I don't even have all my tabs up because I had to restart my computer. I don't know what to do. Let's see. Coin market cap. Let's see where things are. Bitcoin is 54.
Jafar Red Room Mining says, "Old man yells at cloud."
All right, let me bring this up so we can see where prices are, so we can all be depressed together.
What's the price of bananas?
I don't have that screen up.
Oh man, I just wished it was more like, it just sucks, man. Like these, I could now I understand why certain content creators, now I know why they took breaks during the bear market, because it gets to like this, it turns into like this. There's just like, oh, it's just all crypto mining. It's like a NASCAR race. Oh, it's a left turn, and there's another left turn, and
Right.
there's another left turn. I mean, it just, oh God, it's so annoying.
You sound like my mother, by the way. She hated NASCAR.
I hate NASCAR too. Never was a fan. Although when I was a kid, I did like Jeff Gordon. As I got older, I'm like, what's the fucking point of watching this? But anyway, I digress.
I don't know. From people that I know that have been to races, it's really cool to be there because, I mean, it's just, you feel the sound.
Yeah.
It's that part of it. You can feel the power of the cars.
Completely different from Indy cars too.
Yeah.
Indy cars, I mean, it's a whole different crowd, and it's also a whole different like vibe.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. I lived one street east of the Indy 500 track when I lived in Indianapolis. So I went to all the Brickyard 400, the Indy 500. We'd hear them out there testing the Firestone tires like a couple weeks before each of the races and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild. It really is wild. Like when they would open up the center of the oval and they would race these fucking tiny little Indy cars. They're like go-karts with turbocharged, four bangers in them. It like through a road track. That's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they do that in Chicago too? They closed down a bunch of streets and they ran NASCAR in the city in downtown Chicago. Yeah,
absolutely. It's funny because actually the course they used was really similar to a bike race that was in the city. Basically, it went a little bit further because it went all the way to Lakeshore Drive. We went only to Balbo. But basically we went down Michigan Avenue, went up I forget what it's called. But you make a right turn, you go up this like half circle where you turn right onto the half circle, and then you're turning left all the way through the half circle, and then you make a right turn out of it. But yeah, hey, at least this year it didn't flood. They still got a little bit of rain though that screwed things up for a while, but
do they do that every year?
It's done it for 2 years. Last year, I'm surprised they ever did it again. Last year, it flooded. There was so much rain. But
I'm gonna have to go try and watch that next year.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean, people of Chicago kind of hate it just because you're shutting down.
I'm sure you're shutting down half the city for a day.
Well, you're shutting down the life center of summer in the city. You're taking Grand Park away. You're shutting down all these different places, so it's impossible to get around. So, yeah, that was a Lori Lightfoot thing, and she is no longer the mayor, but she made the contract, so they're sticking to it. But at the same time, I bet it makes a ton of money for the city with all the hotels and everything that are being done. So
you got 100
I think it'll win out.
100 people watching right now, 37 likes. Guys, hit the fucking like button. What are you doing? Like, come on, it helps out the stream. What's the matter with you guys? Jeez.
I did buy a little bit of Solana today. I every so often I will claim my IoT for my helium miners, and I had $13 of IoT.
Nice.
And went and bought Solana with it. So It's a good time to buy Solana back when it's in the 20s or 120s.
Yeah, if it gets down under 100, I'm buying a big fat bag.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Big
I
fat
think
bag.
that I think if it goes down to 100, I'm gonna swap into some stuff.
Yeah,
I did,
back when Honey
go
was
ahead.
pumping. Remember that? A couple of months. Well, it was
Yeah.
almost a year ago now. Honey
wow,
was
yeah.
really taking off for a while there. I swapped all that over to Solana. I got like 20 something of them just waiting.
Damn, Litecoin down 61.75. Damn.
It's a good buying opportunity.
It
It's going
is.
to go lower. I think it's going to go lower.
Well, I think
I think
everything
all
may
this
go
is going to go
lower.
lower. Yeah.
We're still in the beginning. We're still not even halfway through September yet. So, yeah,
Yep.
unfortunately, I think a lot of things could still go lower.
Just
I
hold
mean,
out,
if you
guys.
look at what's happening in obviously the economy, I mean, the inflation rate's down. That's good. But so's unemployment. Well, this is what was interesting. Unemployment rate went down.
Yeah, but that's a
It-
trailing indicator, isn't it?
No, it's an indicator of how many people are out of work versus how many people are actually looking for work. So if you're out of work but you've stopped looking, then you won't be included in that statistic.
I can't
Yeah,
At
even
least
find people to
theoretically.
work. I don't know where. Like it's you know, I look at it even like in the restaurant business. It's so hard to find decent help, and you just can't find anybody. And I think part of it also is because a lot of these companies are starting to offer benefits and better pay, and like it used to be like in the 80s and 90s, everybody wanted to work in a restaurant because it was just it was very lucrative, and like now it's just like things have become so convenient with like Uber Eats and and then benefits for different jobs. I had one kid worked for me for like 6 months, and then he went to Costco for $21 an hour with full benefits. And I'm like,
Oof.
Jesus. Like, and I mean, granted, he's
Hard to beat.
19. That's great at 19, living at
Mhm.
home and you don't have any, but I can't compete with that. I mean, that's insane. It's small businesses really do get choked by that. And that's why I think the taxes on small businesses they need to come down. It has to. I mean, it's responsible for. I think now the numbers are probably closer to 60%, but it's at least 60% small businesses are responsible for the economy. You can't just tax the shit out of these small businesses. It's
True,
murder
except
some
as a
months.
restaurant, if you're having to pay your employees more to keep them or to get new ones, your profits are less, meaning you're going to be taxed less. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just simply stating with the way things are right now. So we got into this, and this is what they were trying to get away from. And that's why the Fed had to raise interest rates as high as they did, is because they needed to get out of this cycle of pay going up to keep up with inflation. And then that causes more inflation.
Right. Yeah.
So now they're getting to the point where we're away from that. But there certainly were 2 or 3 cycles of that happened. We got caught up in it as well. We're definitely paying our guys more than we were paying them before. There is no doubt about that. But we passed along those cost increases to our customers, and that's just the way it works. And of course, then they have to raise prices. It's a food grade warehouse, so we have food in our warehouse, and they got to raise their prices, and so it's a vicious cycle, unfortunately. But again, going back to the tax thing, when you're in that cycle and you're having to pay your people more, but you're not raising your prices to your customers, the taxes issue goes away, because you're not going to be paying taxes, because you're paying either your own salaries. So you have your salaries that are passing through to even the owners. I'm assuming it's an S corp. So the actual company itself isn't going to be taxed that highly the less money it makes, after paying its employees. So anyway,
Oh, I look at it in law enforcement too. When I started in 2015, end of 2014, the starting salary for road patrol was 48 grand. Right. And I'm like, oh man, when you're in your early 20s, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go buy a boat. I'm going to do all this great stuff. Do you know what starting salary is right now? At my same
72,
85.
Oh, Jesus.
That's insane. It's 85,000. Now, granted, smaller cities do pay more than some counties, and it just depends. Florida is a little different. Florida's not traditional like the rest of the United States. The state troopers are actually on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to pay. The counties and then the cities pay more, depending on where you are. South Florida pays the most.
I can tell you,
It's crazy though.
I have a kids grew up together. He was a firefighter. He's still a firefighter in the town that I live, and all their pay is like public. And
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah, they
I
make
got
bank.
in the wrong business.
They make bank. They make
They make
firefighters especially.
150,000,
Oh
and
yeah.
most of those guys have other jobs because they work the 24-hour, 3 days a week type of thing, not even, but
Oh, they make
and
a
then
killing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I know, Max. I knew sergeants. One of my old field training officers was my sergeant, and then I left that department, went to another one. But I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, "Hey, so how are things going?" He goes, "Oh, we just got a contract adjustment." And I said, "What are you at?" He goes, "Bro, I'm over 200,000 a year with overtime. It's crazy what these guys are making."
Well, good.
And,
They should be making.
I
Good
agree,
money.
100%. I think all
I know,
cops should
I
make
get
at
it.
least cops, especially police officers, firefighters. In Florida, you can't just be a firefighter; you have to be an EMT medic as
Paramedic,
well.
yeah.
So that's a lot of school to go through all that stuff. Fire school, EMT school is not bad. I went through EMT school, but the medic stuff is like and then you become SWAT medics and stuff. Those guys make a killing, man.
Yeah.
Like they make a killing. Like my buddy's one. He's a firefighter, SWAT medic, so he's dual certified, law enforcement and fire, and he owns a gym. It's the gym that I go to, and he just makes crazy amounts of money. And it's
I will say that
200,000 plus
it
a year.
didn't used to be that way when I was in college. One of the guys I went to college with, when he went home for the summer, that's what he was. He was an EMT,
Mhm.
and he told me what he made, and I'm like, what?
Mhm.
Are you kidding? Why are you not getting a summer internship? He's like, yeah, I want to keep up with it, blah, blah, blah. They made nothing. They made nothing.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like,
wild.
it was like $12 an hour or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, Max, there's parts of Florida right now, sheriff's departments that start their officers at like $17, $18 an hour. Like, and I'm talking like the northern central part of Florida. Smasher like bros, he's from Florida. He'll tell you like those departments, those guys make nothing in comparison. But I don't know, man. I think we do as a country. I know we're getting a lot off topic here, but
It's Saturday night.
yeah, right, exactly. What am I saying?
Yeah.
I do think that we need we need to revise like this whole payment thing, because I was even talking to a buddy of mine that works at the PBA, and he says departments and cities now are opting. Some of them are giving the options now to opt out of pensions, because the generation prior to me, guys who were in their 60s, 70s now that retired from law enforcement, that generation got the best benefits. I know a guy that's retired. He makes $150,000 a year off his pension as a cop. He was a captain. That's insane. We have something called the drop program, where they put money in for 5 years while you're still working, and then you walk out with a lump sum. And these guys were walking out with 700, 800,000 plus their retirements. Like that generation, and with all due respect, really did milk the whole system. Now the cities are like, well, we're not giving these bomb ass pensions anymore because they can't afford it.
Exactly.
So we're just going to raise the pay. And for example, like I paid everything out of my paycheck. I paid my health insurance, $100 a month for me, which I mean, still cheap, but that was when I was single. I had to pay for my police car. I had to pay for my 6% out of my paycheck. Okay. And then I had a 457 that I paid another 5%. By the time I was done, like, it was insane. So I opted out of my 457 and I opted out of the pension. I put everything in a Roth and I did it myself because the returns were higher. They were only guaranteeing me annual growth of 6%. And I wasn't enough when they're making 14, 15%, trying to recoup all the fucking money that they lost in the previous generation. So
Illinois is basically bankrupt. The taxes are 5%, I believe, on just state tax level. And the reason why is because honestly, it's one of our most popular governors, Governor Edgar. He was a Republican governor. Like I said, very popular governor, but nobody knew what he did until it was way too late. He basically he balanced the budget by pushing out all of the pension obligations. And now it's come home to roost, where now we have all these pension obligations that are not funded.
Yeah,
and now we're having to find a way to pay them.
I had a guy that I used to work with. His name was Steve. Great guy. And he was 20-year cop in Connecticut, forced to retire at 20 years, came down to Florida, worked another 20, retired at 60, okay? While collecting, the guy's making like $400,000 a year in his pensions. It's in with his investments and stuff. He just had a retirement party. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I think law enforcement officers should make a lot of money because when you get shot at, there's no price per bullet. Like, and
right.
I understand that.
There's not?
No. It's a very risky job.
Yes.
And I'm all about high risk jobs in any form or fashion that should be high paying. Like, one dangerous job that I think is extraordinarily dangerous is like the linemen, the guys that work on the power poles. Those dudes run the risk every time they touch one of those things. But that's why they're paid. They should be paid up here. I mean, we just I don't want to get into all this, but it's just it's crazy. But I don't know, whatever. It's just the whole system was like just bankrupt the entire pension systems. And like you said, these cities they can't afford to pay the pensions.
I have to respond to Taines. Taines, there's one toll road that's private. The rest of it's the state, and it's all stays within the toll system, meaning that, okay, I know somebody that interviewed at Illinois Tollway, and when she was interviewing for a financial position. She's like, oh, so, how do you guys handle budgeting? Budgeting? We don't do budgeting here. They have so much money because of the toll roads in Illinois that they don't have to worry about budgeting. Yes, some of the actual money goes towards road construction and things like that, but not nearly as much as should go towards that because the tollway just uses up the money however they see fit. Yeah. So, but the only one that's private, at least the only one that I know of that's private, is the one that goes from Illinois to Indiana.
Talk about tolls.
Skyway.
You want to talk about tolls? To cross the George Washington, the George Washington Bridge in New York from Jersey into New York, okay, it's $25 one way. That's insane. Like, New York's police budget is over $1 billion, and they say it's not funded enough. Like, that's it. That's just. Scott Sheffield said, "Don't get me started on our toll roads here in Texas. It's a robbery." See, Florida, we have in Florida, actually, this is why I like the politics in Florida. I'm not going to get into the politics, but it's because Florida has a high GDP. It's actually responsible for 4.5%. It's got its own GDP, and it runs a very stable economy. And I want to believe that's because the governor and the state, they don't go after all the working. They don't just hammer you with all kinds of shit. Like during hurricanes and natural disasters, the tolls are open. There's a lot of benefits living in Florida, and I mean, it's a great place to start a business. But I think the federal government should look to states that balance their budgets, like Florida, like Georgia. Like there's a lot of states that do very well, especially some of the northeastern states like Massachusetts. They budget very well in what they do. I don't know why the federal government can't go and look at how these states do things and say, okay, Florida is running a profit, which our state does. We have a surplus in Florida. Why can't you emulate this? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit of a rant, but it's just like, ugh.
I mean, the benefit that Florida has is the fact that you guys have bank tourism that other states can't even compare.
It is, but it's also the taxes. A lot of businesses have moved here because of the taxes. Florida is very, very, very friendly to business, and I even know because there's a company called.
Hang on, I'll give you an example. So it's a little bit different, but like the town right next door to Bartlett, it has 0 city tax. Why is that? Because they have tons of like warehouses, manufacturing, so they basically pay the entire tax for the city that people don't have to pay taxes. In Florida, you guys have tourism. You have people that come there to spring break, to go there 6 months out of the year, and there are specific taxes in place for people like that, and they basically spend their money and then they go home. So they're very little as far as resources on the day-to-day, certainly no schools, those types of things. But like in Illinois, we don't have that. We don't have that at all. I mean, yeah, people come to Chicago every once in a while. And yeah, there's some state parks that people come to, like like around Carbondale, but I mean, the vast majority of the state is farmland. Nobody comes to the state to go look at farmland.
Mhm.
So it's different states are definitely going to be different in what they are able to accomplish. So and again, that's why some people, especially retirees, move to Florida because they know they're not going to be taxed as highly.
My cousin, city cop in New York, is moving here, and he's just like, yeah, my dollar goes farther there because you have no state income tax. You guys, they don't hit pensions in Florida. Like you guys, they're budgeted very well. Crypto MB said, "Hawk Crypto, let's be real. I'm from Coral Springs, which is a little far south. He's from me. He said, from Orlando south provides the real GDP for the state. And it is
Right.
true. Like Orlando is got one of the Orlando, Miami, Broward, Palm Beach, Tampa Bay, Fort Myers. I mean, some of the largest cities in Florida that just have monster money. I mean, trillions and trillions of dollars worth of like properties and people that come in, and well, maybe not trillions, but billions and billions of dollars worth of people that just come into the state all the time. So if you look at Florida as, and I was just going to say this, Smash the Like Bros, he beat me to it. If you look at Florida from an economy, it's the 17th largest economy in the entire world. That's a state. Like, I don't know why the federal government can't just follow suit. I don't know. This fucking, the unnecessary spending in the government is awful. And again, not politics, but I think having somebody assigned to balance the spending in the government needs to happen. I don't even think we have that now. I don't think there's anybody, one said person or agency that's in charge of balancing the budget. They pass these bills, and
look at what the Senate's doing right now. Not the Senate, the House is doing right now. They have a spending bill that they are basically doing to get them to the next, because there is a law in place that when it hits certain trigger points, that something has to be done. And every single time they figure out a way to just say, no, we're fine. Keep borrowing more money. That's what generally happens. By the way, this is not politics, people. This is policy. This is what's happening.
It is policy. That's why one of the things that I agree with, and this policy, is having a businessman, someone like one thing that I agree that what Trump said was he wants to put Elon Musk or somebody like him in charge of government spending. These are guys that run successful companies. The country is a company. It's running like a business. And regardless if it's him or anyone else, you should put somebody who's good with money in a position like that. Not these greedy ass politicians who just sign bills because of their lobbyists and who they're, like you said, Max, what's half of their term? Campaigning. So they're just signing and doing things. You need to get somebody in the position with the right policy that ran a business that knows how to, like,
because first of all, the president doesn't have the ability to stop that.
Correct.
And bottom line is nothing is going to change until there's a tipping point. We'll eventually get to a tipping point, and then something will happen. But right now, we haven't gotten to that, unfortunately.
Nelson Crypto is a very good, interesting quote from Warren Buffett, and I've heard this. He said, and Warren Buffett has said, you just pass a law that says that anytime the deficit is more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. Warren Buffett came. Did you ever see that interview with him?
I haven't, but I thought you were going to say something different, that you're ineligible to receive pay. I like that one as well.
Well, it really is true. If you hit them in the pockets, I think things will change overnight. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who we're borrowing from. Who's the United States borrowing from? We're running a deficit. Like,
well, we have to sell our debt that we create. We sell it to people that are willing to buy it, and there's more and more debt on the market. And basically, the tipping point is going to be when nobody wants to buy it anymore.
Because the largest country right now that underwrites our debt is Japan, and I think it's not even 2%. So, who's buying it? That's my question. Is like,
I'm not sure who's buying it, but people are buying it.
Right, I understand, because they believe that it'll come back up and increase in value, and I understand that. Like buying a low stock, I get it.
Here's the reason why it's not going to change.
China does not underwrite our debt. Sorry, China does not underwrite our debt. Go ahead.
Not as much anymore. They basically depegged the dollar. Anyway, or depegged from the dollar, is basically because what would need to happen? We would have to cut back spending. Where do we spend the vast majority of our money.
The military.
So, well, there is partly that, but if you look at that is a large portion of what we spend money on, but it's not even the greatest. I mean, you have programs out there that people don't want to hear about. Social Security. Republicans have talked about raising the retirement age in order to get Social Security. That would make a difference. Um, there are other things that could happen as well. But anyway, point being is unless people are willing to really get serious about cutting spending and cutting the bloat from the damn budget, I mean, the shit that states, because here's the thing. Do you think when a congressman goes to Congress, what is their job? What do you think that
To
the
get
squeaky wheels want? They
get
want
reelected.
money to
Yeah.
come back to their district. That's what they want. They don't care about anything else. That's what they want. And that's what their contributors are going to want. If they don't provide that, on to the next guy who's going to provide it. And so what does that mean? That means everybody's got to get a little bit of something. No matter how. I can remember Stearns Road Bridge. I love it. I'm glad it's there. Did it absolutely have to be there? No, it was like $30 million or something. I mean, cheap by today's standards, but it wasn't necessary.
Mhm.
That's that until we get to the point where we say, okay, do we need to repair the existing bridges? Hell yeah, of course we do. Do we
Oh,
need to
we have
build
bad
more
infrastructure here.
bridges where there's other ways around? Maybe in some cases, yes, but in a lot of cases, no. So we didn't just build the Stearns Road Bridge. There was another bridge that was built on the Red Gate Bridge. I mean, these are all additional bridges that weren't required. They were definitely not required, and they required tax dollars, and most of it came from the federal government. And guess what? I remember, because this is back when McCain was running, and he pointed out this particular project, and I'm like, well, I was kind of looking forward to the Stearns Road Bridge, but he ain't wrong. And there's just I could literally say probably 75%, maybe not 75%, 50% of the projects that our government is funding on these types of things are not necessary.
I've seen the list. Have you seen it? There was
I-
one thing I think a few years ago I saw they spent like $20 million researching something about a raccoon, and I was like, who's getting this money? Like, where do you sign up for the ridiculous funding department? That's what I should call it. RFD, ridiculous funding department. Where for funding for ridiculous ideas? Where is this? Where do you sign up?
That sounds like a British thing.
Typically, it's a backroom deal, and there was obviously some contributor who thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, like all these crazy, like whether they're left or right wing doesn't matter, but all these crazy.
Yeah, it happens on both sides. This is not a Republican versus Democrat issue.
No, it happens on both sides. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
A real quick, we did have a couple questions I want to get to. CT Mine asked, where was it? He goes, we have a 22% income tax on national insurance. That's not the one. Yeah. Sorry. Where was it? Something about, here it is. I think I lost it. Something about how do we pay for our roads and our road systems? Like they have a road tax where he's from. In the United States, depending on each state.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Depending on each
So, for
state,
instance, in Illinois,
go ahead.
we have a very high gas tax, and that's the tollway.
Mhm.
That's generally how we pay for road construction.
Right. Same thing here in Florida. However, it's just a gas tax that pays for it, and I think part of the toll system also pays for the just the roadway. Like I'll be honest, like 95 in Florida is complete ass. The further you get south into Miami, the turnpike is like driving on a cloud. It's so we take the turnpike whenever we can because 95 is always packed, and Florida just moved away. I think we were one of the last states to do it, where we moved away from the actual like the tickets. Now you have to have a Sun Pass, which is pretty cool because the Sun Pass actually has reciprocity in a lot of different states too. So you could take the Sun Pass out and go drive around. But what did Michael Cartwright say? We're spending it on the Bureau of Shrimp on a treadmill. Oh my God.
Hey, maybe we are. Are you sure he's wrong?
I don't know. I do know that in our country, in the United States, we have a huge problem with our infrastructure. Our infrastructure in the United States is crumbling, and this is like nobody talks about this, and it's really bad. Like our bridges, our roads, our electrical grid. A lot of the infrastructure in the United States is over 50 years old, and it needs, like we noticed here in Florida when I was on the road, a small bridge that had a canal under it. It collapsed, a small bridge, and somebody was walking and they died. And the city was sued up the wazoo, and they said, well, that bridge is actually DOT, and the state was supposed to come and repair that bridge, and they sent notices out, and they ended up suing the state and won. But yeah, no, it's becoming it's becoming ridiculous if you look at some of the infrastructure across the United States. I just it's really bad. I mean, all the money we get, and it's just, again, not policy. Our foreign policy currently is awful. It's been awful for the last couple presidents, actually. And all the money we give all these other countries, if you take $50-60 billion and invest it back into the country for infrastructure, I mean, it would.
To be honest, we did pass an infrastructure bill, a bipartisan infrastructure bill, back in 2021. And why did we pass it? Because we were coming out of COVID and we were trying to get people jobs and things like that, get people back to work. That was the reason for it. But it was also a good thing that, okay, yeah, we need to make sure that we got roads getting better and things like that. Although, whenever they do that, I always wonder, like, how the hell do you pick the roads that you're actually repairing? This road was fine. Why are you doing something to this road? That road over there, you're not even touching. It's all about who's getting the money. And that part to me is very frustrating. But
Yeah.
I didn't really look into this in detail as far as like how much of it is going towards bridges, because honestly, that's the most dangerous part right now of our country. You hear about a bridge every other year that just collapsed. Obviously the last one wasn't just collapsing; it got hit by a barge, but even so,
right. I wish I knew what the answers are with a lot of this stuff, but unfortunately, my grandfather was right. He always said, follow the money and keep your mouth shut, and you'll know where to go. And it really is. It's just we live in this giant Ponzi scheme at the moment, I feel like, and it's just things need to change, and I think that's why a lot of people are starting to get more involved into policy and politics more than ever before. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So
yeah, the toxic miner, I always thought it was ridiculous. Everybody talks about laying fiber everywhere until they realize the cost of laying fiber everywhere. That's
case in point,
nuts.
Google. What did Google said they wanted to put fiber everywhere across the country?
Yeah, what happened to that?
It was like $2 trillion project.
I know,
or something crazy like that.
Yeah, no,
and they just said, yeah, it's not. You need the government to come in and do that. I mean,
here's the thing. Why would you do fiber in rural places? It makes no sense. It is not cost effective. You need to invest in wireless technology, point to point, things like that. If you had, think of like the Ubiquity, point to point. If you were able to do that on an enterprise level, which I'm sure is available, it's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper to do something like that from a consumer perspective than it's going to be to do fiber. Lay fiber in that. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
There was somebody that said that when they run the fiber lines through the country, they go through rural areas because it's cheaper. Then there's not a lot of red tape and there's not a lot of people. Well, I'm just giving an example.
The point is that you have certain corridors where you run fiber. You don't run so yes, there's going to be some select communities that are going to benefit from where the fibers run. But when you look at the vast majority of the country as far as space, they're not near any fiber. They're not within 20 miles of fiber.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's it's either a complete money suck or it's a pipe dream. Take your pick. But either way, it's money that could be better spent somewhere else, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, in Florida, you see I don't know how it is, and I don't know if regulations in every state, but it's so funny because you always see the little white and orange pole sticking out near the sidewalk that indicates there's a line there.
Right.
And but my house, brand new neighborhood, we have all the tunnels and stuff are built that are running to the roadway, and we still don't have fiber in our community. But across the street they have it.
Yeah.
I just don't
know. No, I got it. We have fiber in the next subdivision, but we don't have it. And the reason why is because AT&T reached their quota because Comcast had a
territory.
Basically, I forget what it is, something agreement, franchise agreement. And when AT&T came through, they're like, no, they're coming in. They're like, okay, well, in order to not have us enforce our franchise agreement, they can't be any more than this much. And they came in and they met that quota so quickly because everybody at that point was so pissed off at Comcast that that they actually had built the boxes and everything, like they were going to build out in this neighborhood, and the stuff just stayed empty.
I think it should be illegal. That should be illegal. Like that.
Yeah, I agree.
That undermines the entire idea of free market and free trade and capitalism. It's awful. You shouldn't be able to claim territory and have an agreement and the customer be stuck with you. I think that's complete bullshit. But that's, again, we're talking about lining the pockets of the people who make the decisions. So
switching subjects.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about this. I'm sitting on my desk and I'm planning to bring it up. I got a package today.
You got a GPU, didn't you?
No, I did not get a GPU. Oh. This was a complete surprise.
FYI, Notre Dame paid Northern Illinois $1.4 million to go out to South Bend so that Northern could beat them in South Bend.
Okay, I think the proper term would be to kick their ass. I know. So anyway, so I got this package. I had no idea it was coming from
Demo. Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Did you get one of them?
I was never sponsored by Demo, but our hobbyist mentioned that he got like a cool cool little package.
I didn't get one.
The only thing I got from Demo, was I told him I was way back when I told him that I was a content creator. They're like, well, we can't give you a free one. I said, that's fine. Could you maybe do something a little bit? Like, how about 2 for 1? I said, that'd be awesome. So I got 2 for the price of 1.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then
I'll take it.
A handwritten note.
Sweet.
Thank you.
It says thank you. Hey, better than nothing. So I got a Demo sticker.
Yep. That's pretty cool. The holographic one.
Yeah.
Yep. Demo sticker. I got another Demo sticker that's also holographic.
Make the screen bigger, Max.
Oh yeah, that would be helpful.
Panda goes, where's my damn toy car? It's probably in that stack of fucking boxes that's sitting in your basement that you haven't got to yet. Yeah.
So I got that one, and then it's
called. I made like 4 videos for them.
It's like It's got like streamers. It's like got all this crap in it, so it's like all over the stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see it, but
that's almost as bad as peanuts.
Yeah, almost. Anyway, so I got a Demo hat, which I'm trying to get the streamers off of.
Oh, nice.
Demo hat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you guys
and
ever
I haven't even opened up the shirt yet.
If you ever ship anything to King, make sure you send it in packing peanuts. He loves playing with packing peanuts. He does. He takes them and he goes like this.
I send him that Sir with all the packing peanuts in it.
And I got a Demo shirt.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Didn't they come out with a new device?
You know, how did they know my size? Obviously, they must watch some content I must have done on it, because
you just guess like 4X. I mean, tall. And
Max is not
2X.
A 4X. He's a 2X.
Okay.
2X. Yes, I am not small by any means, but I'm not a 4X. Jesus.
I am. Just about.
Just for the record, since we started talking policy, we went from 113 viewers down to 89.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear policy.
I guess not. But I think that was everything. Yeah, that was everything. But hey, hat, t-shirt, and some stickers. I'll take it. I got the notification that UPS is sending me something. Must be, something that Sunflower Mom was getting, because I have no idea. I didn't order anything. And then it showed up with my name on it. I was like, what the heck is this? And then saw it. So that was kind of a nice surprise when I got home from work today.
Nice.
But I guess I could have worn that shirt instead. But I didn't.
Did you see the giveaway Panda had with? Oh, you were in the giveaway with.
I was
with
kind of half
XNet?
paying attention. I was at work, so I
Yeah.
couldn't really. Here, let me
Yep.
go back to the. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
That's pretty cool.
That's what I
More of a podcast style.
You like that?
Yeah, a little bit more podcast style, a little more personal. Yeah, just gotta adjust. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can really see my hairy ass arm. So, Panda says he'll be in StarCraft in 30 minutes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
One-on-one.
Yeah, we'll be done in about 15.
Let me see. Wait, my focus is out. Hold on. There we go.
You're focused.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't like this. I'm going back to this.
That's pretty cool though. Anyway,
It was interesting.
the
I will
goat
say that.
sandwich.
So, what do we have for questions out there? That's a demand. Let's go. Questions. So, do you have any projects you're working on, Goat?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this monitoring thing set up with Docker containers on Proxmox. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not a fan of Docker.
You like Kubernetes better?
Yeah, it's just a lot to do. I mean, I don't know. I'm running them in LXCs now instead. So just as a standalone Linux container instead of a Docker container.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't get them. I don't get it as well. It just doesn't click with me yet. I mean, I get the concept, but it just I'm not there yet.
I have to admit, I'm not really sure about them either. I know that everybody says, "Oh, use Portainer."
Portainer is nice. So like I can spin up the containers. My problem is, so Docker. So like so I've got an LXC that's running Docker, and Portainer is a Docker image within the LXC. So I can log into Portainer to manage all of my Docker containers, and but the LXC has its own internal IP scheme. So like I'm running 192.168 yada yada, but in Docker it's 172.17 dot yada yada. Right. And I've got to open ports and get them to communicate, and it's just like I'm just going to put, so I'm installing a MySQL backend for stats to remain in for a database.
Right.
Telegraph to communicate the stats that are being collected from the Proxmox server to Grafana, and then a Grafana LXC as a dashboard app that then is going to point to a Raspberry Pi that's in kiosk mode that I'll have to a little touch screen on the front of the server. That's my plan.
Nice. That's cool.
I'm trying to connect all the dots, and all these videos and like write-ups and stuff are assuming up to a certain point.
Right. And it's like, wait a minute, now I got to watch a video that gets me to this point. Right. Yeah, I know. I hate those type of projects. I can understand, but I'll give it this. So I asked ChatGPT exactly what I want to do. And I said, explain it to me as if I have never used Linux before, like I'm a 5-year-old. And it goes through very detailed and gives you exact step-by-steps, what to name the packages, everything. And if I get to a point where it like still assumes, I'll go back and be like, no, on, section 2.3, explain this better as if I don't know what I'm talking about. And it'll go through and explain that as well. That's so cool. It's doing a really good job at kind of like helping those step-by-step of actually getting it set up and so far. But that's cool. That is very cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Once I get it all said and done, I'm going to make a video on it.
I know when I initially did the first time I did PCIe pass through on Proxmox, that was that was my problem is that they were like assuming, well, just do this. Like, but how do you do that? Yeah. Show me how to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I guess the one project I need to work on, it won't be this weekend because the family's in town, but hoping maybe next weekend. I want to move one of my VastEI rigs from just like one of my standard like PC rigs with like a 5700X processor on it with 64 gig. I want to move that to the 7810. That, yes, I'll be going from PCIe 4 to PCIe 3, but I'll have two 16 lane slots, and so I want to get both of those on VastEI. So I'll have a 23090 rig on Vast that's verified, Because right now I'm making like 19 cents an hour with the 130/90 I've got on salad. It's like 7 cents an hour. It's so much less on salad. I'm really disappointed with
Yeah.
how much the 30/90s are making. Actually, there was a state of salad. I definitely recommend it. It was pretty lively. I was in it asking questions. Um, and I was asking a lot compared to other people, but I kind of basically said, like, guys, I'm making more money on 4070s and 4070 Ti's than I am on 30/90s. Tell me how that can be. You got 4070s and 4070 Ti's with only 12 gig of RAM, and you got 3090 with 24 gig of RAM that you've already just said in your stream that more and more people are looking for 24 gig. So why is it? They're like, well, you'll get more consistent jobs. I'm like, no, don't. No, just no. Does not work that way. Yes, I get more consistent jobs on it, but if I've got a $5 job that's on for like 8 hours a day, it's going to be equivalent. And oh, by the way, on average, it's on 8 hours a day, but every once in a while, I'll run for like 3 or 4 days, maybe even 5 days at that $5 job. So overall, I want to make more money at that. That's one of the things that I like about Vast is the fact that you can set your own prices, you can move with the market. And I can tell you the 4090s are starting to sell on Vast. They've definitely increased. The minimum price used to be like around like 19 cents an hour. I had seen it as low as that or even lower, and now it's up to over 21 cents as like the bottom 10% price. So prices are starting to come back up, which is good to see. Good to see. And the amount of total units are also coming up, but right now the demand is increasing faster than the number of units that's coming on. There's still plenty to go around. So it's not like anybody's, oh my gosh, they're running out of capacity. I better put something on there. No, there's still plenty of people that are unrented.
So real quick, Harry Cryptic Bear tagged me in this on X. I'm going to put the link in the chat. This is the amount of wasteful spending programs that we spent money on. I was just reading some of it. It's actually pretty funny.
It was pretty ridiculous. What you think is funny, I get frustrated at.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
know what you're saying.
If I get angry, then I'm gonna go in circles all night. Yeah. So it's just it's pretty funny because there was one where they spent $104 million on an airport and a town or an airport or some sort of port system for a town of 75 people. None of them use it. It was just really funny to look at.
Yeah, it's again, but why did they do that? Because somebody thought it was a great idea. Somebody was going to make money off of that, and they got in the pocket of the representative from that district. And that representative did their job and convinced others to say, "Yep, sounds like a great idea. Oh, you want to build an airport? Yeah, that's a valuable thing. Sure."
Oh my God, this is hysterical. I should do a whole video on this. Let's just go through all these wasteful spending.
iRescue Data says I reinstalled my Ubuntu several times. It won't pick up a job. You're talking about on which one? Which platform, iRescue Data?
Are you using? You're on Flux, right? Flux Edge.
I took it off.
Oh, did you do that on bare metal or did you do that on a VM?
I did it on a VM. I had jobs, but so the reason why we had jobs was because they had the Flux, the folding at home thing.
Yeah, yeah,
and that's over. So there aren't many jobs on it right now. At the time, there will be. I'm not upset or anything like that. Like, oh man, they have no jobs anymore. It's just the fact that there's going to be less. It was good. They got people involved. They got more people to come online. I'm willing to go back when the demand is there, and I believe it's going to be there. If you look at like Flux had a thing this morning, and they kind of laid out like all of their different like platforms and stuff. They've got Flux Medical. And I forget what all the little modules were, but they've got plenty of stuff that will use more GPUs. So when that happens, yeah, I'm right back on it. I'll take my 3090s off of Salad and put it on there because right now I have 3 3090s. I got the one behind me. The other 2 will go on to Vast. I'll probably leave those there. The one thing I didn't like about being on Flux because it was folding at home was because it's like mining. and they were using not just the GPUs, they were also using the processor. So they were hammering the
Taxing
system.
the heck out of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just when you're looking at the alternatives, when you're on Vast, they're only using your GPU. When you're on Salad, they might not be using anything at all.
Yeah.
So I Rescue Data, yeah, Flux Core. Yeah, I don't think there's many jobs right now. Now I think that's gonna change in about a week when they're gonna be rolling out Flux AI alpha, and then a little bit after that they're gonna roll out beta, and then it'll become main. But
That Flex AI definitely needs some work. I was playing with that too, doing the Chat GPT thing on Proxmox, and I was seeing what. And well, one, I'm on the free version there, so I hit a paywall. But so like in Chat GPT, you can say, "Hey, how do I do this?" And it'll give you a little box with the codes in there, the commands, and you just hit copy, and you don't have to Anyway, it's got those boxes there on the Flux AI. They're blank. They're all blank.
okay.
So it still has some work to do.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, that's a big one. They
Yeah.
definitely need to fix that.
And I'm sure they will. They did mention this morning that they said that the API that they use is the same that ChatGPT. So if anybody wants to move from using ChatGPT with something else, they can just switch over to Flux AI because it uses the same APIs. So I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So they're using Meta 3, which is the same LLM that, or underlying LLM that Facebook uses or Meta
Mhm.
uses. But they've got the GPT front end, the web interface for it. So I've got Olama running on a VM on Proxmox. I was going to put the Meta 3. I've tried with Phi 3, and if I want to get more space or actually use my GPU for that, I could use the last OpenAI, the GPT-3 or 3.5. It was still open source. You could get that LLM out there, but
It was interesting because you think about who is in these chats or watching these streams and things like that. I mean, it's geeks like us, and you know they were like, well, why wouldn't I just create one of these on my own? And Jeffkey's like, yeah, why don't you?
you could.
I'm not telling you shouldn't. Then you're not the customer we're looking for.
So what exactly? And what made me want to do it on my own? So I use ChatGPT every day for a LinkedIn post. I've got my prompt that has it spits it out the same way I want it to. It sounds like me. It passes AI checks. It links them back to follow me on LinkedIn, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, I also have I used to have or use Dolly to create an image, a custom image to go with it. Now they've integrated that into 4.0. So now I just tell it the same thing. Anyway, I went to say something. I said, make an image around this article and have Steve Jobs look unhappy about it. And it wouldn't generate an image with Steve Jobs. It wouldn't generate an image with Woody Woodpecker. It wouldn't generate an image with Abraham Lincoln. It's like these are against the terms and conditions or something, or against our policy. So having those checks in there where it's like, I'm not trying to do anything nefarious here, but I want a picture of Steve Jobs that looks pissed off because Microsoft did this thing and he doesn't work there anymore, kind of thing,
Right.
And so knowing that they have this great tool and they put all these restrictions and regulations on it, I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it myself. So that's why I started learning how to stand up my own Olama and Phi 3 and LLMs and stuff on my machines. It's not as fast, but I get the outcome I want.
Hey Hawk, WTF?
We paid
Why the face?
$27 million for Moroccan pottery classes. Hey, you're right. This was going to piss me off. I don't even want to read it.
Yeah, stop reading it.
it just
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I told you why it makes sense.
There was another one in there for $100,000 in coffee creamers.
And you know what their reaction is? It's only 100,000.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no. Just fucking.
Yeah, stop it.
That's so ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Pottery, not poetry. Pottery. Pottery. You stand on the thing and you can put your hands around it.
But hey, at that point, what difference does it make? Pottery, poetry, none of them should be funded by.
I'm sure something in poetry is in there too. That's the
Probably.
most aggravating thing to read is what we spend money on. It's so crazy.
Yep.
There was one that was like $5 million to teach entrepreneurship in Barbados.
So this is, by the way, this is why I love John McCain, because that's what he did all the time, was point out all of these stupid projects. That was what he did all the time.
So terrible.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb. We spend all this fucking money on dumb shit.
We don't have any hawkish representatives anymore. Like how I did that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got it. I mean, there's a few people out there that are trying to, go out there and do the right thing, but
they're the silent majority, or even probably the silent minority still. Still, most people will go on the same old.
Like $300,000 for the National Oceanic Administration's, the NOAA, the $300,000 to operate their luxury yacht that they use for their parties every year. I mean,
yeah, we spend money on such stupid shit.
Here's another one that's federal grant to study women weaving and wool in Iceland. And apparently, instead of investigating the Icelandic Viking era economy, perhaps the government should focus on addressing the struggling American industries of 2013. This is just some of the dumbest programs that we've ever funded. I don't.
Oh no, I'm sure there's dumber.
I like, government funding for cell phone technology. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but like I said, there are valuable things that we fund.
I'm okay with that.
But what gets me is, this is what bothers me more than anything. So we say no to cancer research that has very specific goals. Again, this is one of the reasons why I feel so strongly about funding for ovarian cancer. Ovarian cancer is if you get it, it's extremely deadly. But it only affects women, obviously. And it affects a relatively small percentage compared to women that have breast cancer. And because of Susan B. Komen, guess what? They get a lot of money because she was rich and she was able to get a lot more focus on the disease. And now people do all kinds of fundraising for it, and get a lot more funding from the government because people are more aware of it. Anyway, my point is that you spend shit on dumbass stuff like you just mentioned, but yet organizations that are trying to get early detection for ovarian cancer to save lives, and they can't get the funding. That's what bothers me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just giving you one example because it's close to the heart, but there's lots of other things that we could be doing much better in this world. If we're going to spend money, then spend money on things that are worth spending money on.
Oh no,
All right.
48,000 on the second annual Hawaii Chocolate Festival.
Hey, that chocolate festival means something to somebody.
Yeah, you know what? That might be true.
No, there was when I was back in a church choir, there was a song that we made fun of one night, and one of the guys was a little odd at times, and he was like, that song meant something to somebody, and he stormed out. You're just like, what? Anyway,
here's another 100,000 to celebrity chefs in Indonesia. What is this? Grants to $1 billion tire company. This is so ridiculous. This is so dumb.
Yeah.
Beer brewing.
Hold on.
$111,000 for beer brewing lessons in China. Hey,
but here's the thing. This is the real problem. You're reading through it, but you're one of the very, very, very few people that has, and it doesn't get any press.
It's so
Zero
bad.
press.
Like you can do a whole video just talking about each one of these programs and why we shouldn't spend money on them.
Be careful of that, though. You start talking about the wrong programs, you're going to get Clintoned.
Not wrong.
I mean,
but no matter what you call it, you're not wrong. One way or the other, whether you get canceled because somebody starts looking into you you know, all of a sudden they turn things around and say you did this and you said that, and yeah.
I mean, I didn't write this.
No, I know. That not the point. The point is if you bring attention to it.
Language. What is this? Duplicative defense language and cultural training. 25 million. Better coordination to avoid overlapping duplicate increased training efficiency led to savings of 25 million. Coast Guard spends taxpayer dollars on a Mardi Gras float. Nice.
Obviously, there's some things I'm missing in the chat, but Red Panda says fasting will be the #1 thing to get your body into cell regeneration and eliminate cancer cells. If you're talking about cell regeneration, wouldn't working out, wouldn't exercising of any kind that where you stress muscles, wouldn't that also put your body into cell regeneration and also eliminate cancer cells? Just saying.
It actually does. I knew a guy that he worked out a lot, and it helped him with his treatment. The doctor actually said, if you can go to the gym and you can lift weights successfully, do it. You know, so it helped him.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna start riding the bike inside this winter, and one thing I know is that when I start getting back into shape, first part is you got to get the lungs going because you can't really stress out the muscles exercising aerobically until you get some type of cardiovascular going. But once you get the cardiovascular going and you're able to stress the muscles, oh my god, I smell of ammonia like a lot when I'm dieting and exercising.
Yeah, your body's pushing all that stuff out.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that I'm limiting carbs, and then it basically says, you know what, we need to take something else. So they start burning some other things. But anyway,
I think intermittent fasting is like, I fast in the morning. When I wake up, I just drink a little bit of water, maybe like a coffee, and that's it. Like I don't take anything. I don't eat till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I do that in the morning, and it seems to help with energy and stuff. But grow your own food and bypass government. Yeah,
we do actually grow some of our own food. We got a garden, but for the most part, what Sunflower Mama grows is sunflowers. We have some tomato plants.
Eat the seeds.
Oh, bacon, eggs, and hash. I rode 20 miles on my bicycle yesterday, and I'm 61. You can do this next. Oh, I know I can. Hell, again, it was many years ago. I mean, I've ridden 160 miles in a day, so I know I can get back into it where I'm doing 50-mile rides again.
Yeah, I went to, well, except for today, I went to the gym every day this week. I've been spending $40 a month on the gym. I haven't gone fucking.
You know, that's probably why you got sick, right?
That's probably why I got sick. Yeah.
Because when you work out, it beats your immune system, the only thing that helps you recover. So if you're just getting into it, you're going too hard, skip a day.
Yeah. Well, I skipped a day, that's for sure.
Amplifier Gaming, it's been a long time since I've been like thin, like really thin. It was probably since 2005, about 2005, 2006 when I started really getting serious about racing. I was 175. Right now I'm 270, so significantly heavier than I was then. And in the off season, after I was 175, I said, let me see, because this is back when I was like super into cycling, and I knew other people that were like professional cyclists that, you know, weighed like 165, 160 and were the same height as me. Not the same build, but the same height. So I'm like, I want to see what it would feel like if I got down to 165. I got down to 169 and got really sick. And I'm like, okay, guess that's not for me. 175 it is.
165 at 6'2"? Yeah, no, man. That's
like, what I was in high school.
I mean, yeah, as you're a kid though.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Nobody knows what I mean, nobody can accurately guess what I weigh because I hold my weight well. Nobody can guess. I'm actually very close to you, Max.
Well, yeah, but you're a lot more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So there you go.
I weighed myself the other day at 250, and I was like, this fucking scale's got to be broken. And I'm like, where? And yeah, no, it's I have no.
What's your weight? What's your best weight?
Me, I think I'm good at like 210, 220. I feel like I feel shredded and strong. Like right now, I
Right.
just
So,
feel like I'm
like I
fucking
said,
heavy.
my weight would
Like,
be
I'm
like
just like
175, 180 because I have a different build. I
Yeah,
was
frog.
never like bulked up or anything like that. I couldn't. I would work out. I could
It's
not
just
build
your body
muscle.
type, though.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
depends
It's
on
the
body type. There's
genes.
ecto, meso, and endomorphs. There's 3 different
Well,
body types.
yeah, there's something about that, but it's really the
Has a lot
body
to do.
types. Those types of body types don't really mean anything. It's really just about genes of your ability to build muscle. Anybody can build muscle, but it's about how hard it is for you to build muscle. So anyway,
Frank Zane, the guy who used to work out with Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane had a build like yours. It's very ectomorph, very smaller frame. And if you see pictures of Frank Zane, anybody can do it. You're right. I agree. But body types do help. Like it helps a lot. Like, but apparently I looked it up. Like, am I technically obese? And technically I'm obese. So if you look, everybody I think is obese according to that fucking scale.
no,
it says
not
that
true.
I should be 190. At 190,
yeah, okay, but
I'd
it's
be
not really
paper
taking
thin.
your build into account. I get that, but it's an average. It's on average. You already know that your build is not an average build, so they're trying to dumb it down for most of America so that they know where they stand.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yes,
Vinny
people
Del
are
Greco
forgetting
says
what you put in your
steroids
body.
help.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
they
I
do.
drink my sweet tea.
Steroids do help. They do help. Never had to take them, but
Yeah, but
they do help.
I decided I'd get back into it by running like I used to. Like I back in high school, my 1 mile time was eventually, and a couple of years ago,
that
I was
didn't
running
play
a
in my
mile.
head. That didn't play out like I thought it was going to play.
I
in my head.
didn't either. That's why I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, but a couple of years ago, I was real heavy at the gym. I was going a couple times a week, like every week. That was like my second home for a while there. I was running 9-minute miles, and not bad for an asthmatic that grew up smoking in a smoking home.
I got to be honest. I was never a runner. Like I played football and basketball, and you had to be in condition to run up and down. But like I've only like done, like I did my 40-yard dash when I was in high school. I did the 100-meter just to see what your speeds are with everyone else when you're on the team. But I never got into like long distance running, or I just never enjoyed it.
I
was a runner.
I was 100, 200, 400 in high school. Made it
You remember
to
your 100?
made
You
it to
remember your 100
regionals.
times?
Made it to regional finals. I remember my time. 200 was 23.5 was my best time.
Wow, that's fast.
I was fast when I was a freshman.
I
was
ran
really fast when I was a freshman.
I was a quarterback, and the quarterbacks are typically not fast unless you're like Michael Vick, or who was the other one in Baltimore. Anyway, I ran a 4.9, and that in high school.
That's fast in high school, yeah.
Yeah, but they were looking at me going, "No, not in South Florida. It's not." Because there were guys in high school in South Florida that were running 4.5, 4.6, and a couple of my friends went to the NFL, and the coach is looking. He's like, well, they would call me Zook, but hey, Zook, you got to get faster. I'm like, I'm white. I can't run that fast. Like, what's the matter with you? Like, I'm a quarterback. I'm supposed to throw the ball.
Here's the thing, though. This is the one thing that you can get fast. They've learned. Like the coaches just sucked. Track coaches, sport coaches, they would say, get faster. Okay, how do I get faster? A lot of it's technique that they now teach. They didn't used to teach. But for me, I was fastest when I was a freshman because I was 165 when I was a freshman. Then I gained weight along the way as I more kind of focused on basketball than I did on track. Track was just a kind of a thing to do. So my times never were as fast as they were when I was a freshman. And it always puzzled the coaches. I'm like, dude, it's because I'm way 10 more pounds than I did before. And I've put on upper body muscle that I didn't have before. It's not too hard to figure out. I'm lugging around another 10 pounds. It's gonna slow you down.
It was a football game that one of the linebackers got through the line. They're coming at me, and I scrambled and I ran. And after that, I got tackled just shy of the first yard line. I'll never forget. And this kid hit me hard. And my coach looked at me and said, I should have people chase you in real life, because that's the fastest I've ever seen you run. I'm like, that's like a Coke machine. That was like a vending machine with legs. Like the kid scared the shit out of me. And you'll run faster when someone's chasing you. So like the next practice, my coach was a ball breaker, and he this was way before you had to be sensitive. Okay, like this is when the coaches were able to push you, maybe sometimes slap you around a little bit. Like this wasn't there was no safe spaces in my high school. And he got this senior. I was a sophomore, and he had this senior kid who was just he was like a bully. Had him come at me during the game. He was picking on me the whole game. I got so mad that on one play, I stiff armed him. I got mad and I ran him over, and I was just running fast out of anger. And he timed me. He goes, you beat your 4.9 speed, by the way. Just letting you know, you're like 4.7. He goes, what's the difference? I said, well, you fucking pissed me off. He goes, well, get mad every time you run the football. And I was like, okay.
Funny you mentioned that. Yeah, we always called it pedaling in anger.
Yes, pedaling in anger, right?
So
we were getting into fights on the field with each other, bumping heads, pushing each other. Fuck you, now fuck you, run the football.
I had a bike race, and this was like a series, and we had a road race, and this one MFer, there was a center line rule. You're not allowed to go over the center line because, obvious reasons. It's not a closed road. There could be cars coming the other way. Well, this guy decides he's going to go over the center line, and then going up a hill, no matter. And guess what? Car comes over the hill. He just veers over at us, knocks almost 3 of us off the road.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like pissed as hell at this guy. We had it with him the next day. So the following day was a crit. And this guy decides he's going on a breakaway. And I'm talking to everybody. I'm chattering with everybody. Like, nope, just keep him in sight. Just keep him in sight. Let him stay out there and suffer. At the end, we will pass him. So we're down to the final lap. We're almost halfway through the final lap. So we've got like 3/4 of a mile left. And I'm like, all right, guys, let's go, go, go. And I just hit it as hard as I could. And I never looked back. I passed him with like 150 meters to the line, and I kept going, and I won, which shocked the hell out of me because I was planning on leading somebody else out. I just didn't want this MFer to win. And then I'm like, what happened? I announced I was attacking. You guys knew what I was going to do. I told you what I was going to do. They're like, yeah, nobody could catch your wheel. And I was not anywhere near the most talented person or the strongest rider that were in that. But that's what pedaling in anger, because I was so pissed off at this guy.
There really is like this extra unlock of like energy or stamina. We used to do it. We used to do it in SWAT. We would play music in the truck, like that'll rally you up, and you get in, and it just gives you like this extra boost. And that's why like these football games and stuff, the coaches used to just rile everybody up. Oh, hey, Mike, I heard he called you a bitch. I'm like, well, fuck you, man. He's like, no, hey, get the football, run. And I just, like that. Like,
I didn't know Vinny was into cycling. He knows Jens. Shut up, legs.
Amplifier Games says, how tall are you? 6'1". But it was funny, man. It was Automatic Beat says Blow always gave me the extra boost I needed. Yeah, I'm sure it did. But anyway.
All right. Well, we've gone over 2 hours rambling about all kinds of different things tonight.
Sports.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't hit the like button,
Uncle
I would
Rico.
appreciate it if you do it on the way out very much. If you're new here, come to Monday and then decide whether you're going to subscribe. Because I generally talk about crypto things on Monday, which I will plan on doing this Monday. So I start usually around 8 p.m. Central Time. So come on by. And Automatic Beats is 6'5". Holy crap, he's tall.
I actually got to see Endless Mining and your friend Andy stand next to each other. It was like standing next to redwood trees.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious, because I think Endless is like 6'5". I think Andy's like 6'6". It was pretty funny.
Oh, I thought Endless was taller.
I don't remember who was taller. All I remember is that I was shorter. And when I need to look up at somebody, you're tall. It's just like you would look up at them like that. You're tall.
Yeah, I looked up at both of them. Yeah, definitely. I didn't have to look up too far. That's what I'm saying. When I looked up at Endless, I remember thinking I looked up higher than I did when I looked at Andy. So
I don't
But both of
remember.
them are definitely tall.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate it. So Monday again, I will be talking about crypto stuff on my stream, and Hawk and Mining King will probably be doing a watch party for the debate on Tuesday, and then you
Which
got
means
Wired
me.
Wednesday on Wednesday, obviously, and then Hawk will be probably back on Thursday as he's been streaming on Thursday. So, alrighty, guys, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it, and we will see you again next time. Thank you to Goat for sticking it out with us tonight, and Hawk as well for being my right hand man here. Appreciate it. And General's out. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.
See you later.